Hi, welcome to FoxNews.com Strategy Room. This is the Variety Hour, and I'm joined here in studio by Shawn Seipler, and you are the Executive Director of Clean the World.
That's correct.
Fantastic. Okay, so tell us exactly what your organization does and what your role is in it, and then we've got some great video to show.
Absolutely. So I am the Executive Director and co-founder of Clean the World. We're a nonprofit. We recycle hotel soap to save lives. There's an opportunity for the hospitality industry in the fact that 9,000 children every day die to pneumonia and diarrheal disease. It's the #1 and #2 leading causes of death amongst children. Clinical studies show that the use of bar soap and proper education can reduce those deaths by up to 62%.
Wow.
And in the hospitality industry, hotels, we all stay in hotels and use that soap and shampoo. We actually throw away about 1 million bars of soap every day in the United States.
It's terrible.
Absolutely. So Clean the World's goal is to get that soap, recycle it in a hygienically safe, environmentally safe manner, and then distribute it to those in need, both here in the United States and around the world, who are literally dying because they don't have soap.
Yeah, it really bothers me because when I go to a hotel, you see, you use it. Maybe you're there a day, you're there 2 days. You're not going to finish the soap. You're not going to finish the shampoo and the conditioner, and it feels incredibly wasteful.
It is. It is incredibly wasteful. As a matter of fact, if we were to have half of the hotel rooms in the United States participating on our program, we would prevent 400 tons of soap and shampoo waste from hitting landfills, and instead recycle them and get them to folks that need it.
How did you come up with this idea? I mean, it's just something like, who would think about it? Just like soap making such a big difference, such an impact. Like, did you read a study? Did you come across some information?
Yeah, it's a great question. So in my previous life, I was the Vice President of Sales and Marketing for an e-commerce company, and I did a lot of traveling, about 4 or 5 nights a week, leaving my wife and 4 kids. And so I was sort of looking for a way to stop that grind and get into something new. I was looking into green sustainability. Our co-founder and managing director, Paul Till, was also with me, and we started looking at hotels and what happens with the soap and shampoo. Just asked a very simple question. Called a few hotels, found out that they were throwing it away. We then went on the internet and found some very basic ways to recycle soap. But the key moment, the aha moment for us, was when Paul Till researched and found a study of doctors that went into a village in Bangladesh and brought soap in. And it was the diarrheal disease portion of the soap that kind of sparked his interest.
Infectious diarrhea, yeah.
Absolutely. And in that study, there was a 60% reduction of diarrheal disease through simple bar soap. Now, they didn't clean the pollution or the water or any of those problems. They just simply brought in soap. And that was when we sort of set back and said, oh my, there's 1 million bars of soap a day, 9,000 children, and there's study after study after study that shows if we just get them that soap and train them on how to use it, we can actually save their life.
It's incredible. So how does so say, for example, you go for like a hotel chain and say, all Westin hotels or all Marriott hotels or something like that, will you participate, and then it's up to them to comply? Like, how does it literally work?
Absolutely. So we actually have 300 hotel partners in 40 states. Walt Disney World was one of our biggest brands to come on board.
Oh,
and just last week, Mandarin Oriental agreed across all their North American properties. It's very simple. Hotels sign up with us, and they get a bin. And that bin either has a Clean the World driver come pick it up if they're close to one of our recycling centers, or it gets shipped into one of our recycling centers and we simply ship another empty bin back. We have a sales approach, so we go after...
Who absorbs that cost?
That cost is picked up a number of different ways. Number one, hotels do have a program fee to participate with us.
Sure.
So all of our clients have stepped up to the plate financially in a tough economy to participate in our program. Also, as a 501c3, we are supported by generous contributions of individuals and corporations. So that's primarily how we do it. We were founded last year, and I like to tout that in 16 months we've created 28 jobs and haven't taken a single stimulus dollar.
Great,
and that's because of, I think, what a great concept and what a great response the hospitality community, folks like Walt Disney World, like Mandarin Oriental, that have stepped up to the plate to do something that is really good at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's really a great idea, because I'm actually just visualizing how this works. When you look at the chain of how this ends up like soap in the hands of children that need it and families. You've got the housekeeper that goes into the room. You've got the soap that's there. Somebody opened it, like washed their hands once. whatever, right?
Right.
So they're going to take that soap and put it in some kind of
Little
collection
bag.
thing that they have,
Yep.
and then put it in the big bin, and then they come how often, depending on the volume that's collected?
Depending on volume, exactly. So we run routes. We have facilities in Orlando, Las Vegas, Washington, D.C., and Phoenix. Depending on, the size of the property and how much volume, we may come out once a week or once a month. And if it's a shipped property, they just call us when their bin is ready. But from the time that housekeeper puts that bar of soap in the bin, it takes 6 weeks for a soap to get into the hands of a child.
So that's the time frame.
So that's how long it takes, exactly, from start to finish.
So that's great. Now tell me again where in the world the soap goes.
So we have been to over 30 countries. We work in partnership with World Vision. We also work with other smaller missions that will take our soap in. We've been to countries like Uganda, Zimbabwe, Mali, Mongolia. In Central America, we just got into Mexico last week. We've been in El Salvador, Nicaragua. We also have a direct distribution in Haiti. And so last year, our first distribution was in Haiti, and you can see some B-roll here of us actually doing distribution. You can see the sewage in Haiti. I mean, this is literally where kids are playing in a park, and the sewage is right up against it. So we did, right after the earthquake hit in Haiti, we partnered with World Vision and gave them 1 million bars of soap that went into hygiene kits, which were distributed in the tent cities in Haiti, again, to those that were, suffering from poor sanitation and poor hygiene at the time.
Sure. We have an email from PJ saying, where is Clean the World? I guess where's it located?
We are headquartered in Orlando, but we are opening facilities across the country, also in Canada, Vancouver, and Toronto, and we're actually going global. So Clean the World is all over the world.
So that's fantastic. Now, for example, the process by which you say you hygienically recycle and I guess make soap out of soap, right?
That's correct.
How does that work? And did you have to obviously research kind of the technique, the process by which you could do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you look on the internet, you'll find a version of recycling called rebatching, where you basically take the soap, you grind it, you cook it, and then you form it into new bars. And so when we started, we moved from my kitchen to a single car garage, and we literally had 4 Kenmore cookers lined up. We had a meat grinder, and all of us on the weekends would take the soap, grind it up, and cook it. The problem with that is it took way too long. So we actually invented a process. Our operations director, Steve Delisle, said, why don't we just shock the soap? So we went into a restaurant and used their steamer and found that soap being porous, steam actually gets inside and cleans the soap from the inside out. We partnered with...
Kind of like a dry cleaning process.
Precisely. And so what we did to test our method is we infected our soap with E. coli, salmonella, a bunch of pathogens that could be passed from skin to skin, ran it through the steaming process, got a 100% clean bill of health from the laboratory we were working with. So now we steam our soap. It allows us to do, we can do anywhere between 10 and 15,000 bars on a daily basis through the steaming process. And in a few months, we're actually going to introduce a soap line. So we're actually going to take that steamed and sterilized soap and we're going to repress it into a new bar that can be packaged and distributed to those.
So how big is the soap? What does it look like?
So the soap that we get from the hotel rooms is in their original form. 90% of the bars stay in that form. They're anywhere between 1 to 2 ounces, depending on the type of property. But when we reform it, we'll probably reform it into 2 or 3 ounce bars.
Okay, and then how long will a 2 or 3 ounce bar, like how long will that last? Say, for example, if a family gets one hygiene kit, okay? And it'll have 1 bar of soap in there?
Usually, actually, in hygiene kits, we try and put 3 or 4 bars of soap in.
Great.
So that'll last an individual, if you figure, about 3 to 5 days for a bar of soap. Now, their hygiene practices in some of these places are not as rigorous as ours. They're not doing multiple times a day. But what we try and do, for instance, in Haiti, when we do distribution, is give somebody enough bars of soap to last them until they see us again, which will be in about 30 days.
Oh, so that's great. So that makes a lot of sense. You've really thought through the process so that there's not a gap. Because when you got a gap, that's when someone can get infected and you pass it on and the village becomes a problem. Okay,
exactly.
So now give us your website and everything. We have people emailing in at strategyroom@foxnews.com if you have questions for Shawn, and then give us the website where everybody can...
cleantheworld.org. You can find us on Facebook as well. We've got a great Facebook community, but cleantheworld.org.
Cleantheworld.org. Okay. I looked at your logo on the internet. What does it mean? That's from Wesley Williams.
So our logo stands for cleanliness, it stands for sustainability, it stands for new life. We try to bring all of those things in. You know, Clean the World is about, this is logo, it's about reducing landfill waste. It's a big part of what we do, and it's about giving new life to those that need it in the form of proper sanitation.
Okay, so describe the logo there. It looks like you got soap bubbles.
So we actually have soap bubbles to show the cleanliness. Obviously you were green because it's a green organization.
Sure.
And we've got the recycle, renew arrows that go around in a circle, and of course the little image there, I've named him after my son Aiden, is life and you know, cleanliness and new life and new birth.
Well, that's great. So did you personally design that, or you had a partner?
Did not. We had somebody who did that. I'm not. That's not my area of expertise. I approved it. That's right.
You approved it, so that's great. And so you've got exciting expansion plans as well, which is wonderful.
Absolutely. We're just getting ready to open our Vancouver facility in partnership with Mission Possible in a couple weeks. I'll actually be there this Sunday to help kick it off. Toronto's coming online soon, and then we'll be in Mexico, Spain, South Africa, and we just picked up our first property in South Korea, the Grand Ambassador, a few weeks ago.
Oh, that's great. And so you are, again, a 501c3, right?
That's correct.
So people can make contributions. They want to support your nonprofit and the work that you do, and that's great. You're partnering up with World Vision as well, because they have a tremendous reach.
Absolutely.
And so that's great when you can have those cooperative partnerships as well. Well, we wish you continued success. What a great idea.
Thank you.
It just shows what one person can make a difference, and you know, the great team that you work with as well. Shawn, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me
with us.
I really appreciate it.
At foxnews.com. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back after these messages.